So welcome back to DC Silver Age Storytime, and today's story comes from Action Comics number 260, published in January 1960, with story by Otto Binder and art by Al Plastino, featuring Mighty Maid. You'll never guess who she is. Lois, what a terrific scoop! At last, Superman has found a super powerful woman who is worthy of his love. Sob, the biggest and for me the unhappiest story of my career. Poor Lois Lane. For years, the girl reporter has had her heart set upon becoming Miss Superman, but now, suddenly, like a ghastly nightmare come true, a beautiful super rival flies into Superman's life and sends all of Lois's romantic dreams crashing. The rival, Mighty Maid. Wow, what a terrific scoop. Superman is. Okay, he already said that. So we open up with Perry White talking about how he sent Lois Lane out to Tornado Belt for an assignment. Clark Kent uses his X-ray vision to spot that she has a tornado flying up behind her, which scoops her up into the air. Oh, I'd be even more scared if I wasn't sure that Superman will zip to the rescue as usual, I hope. She's just flying in the air. So arms grab her, but there's Superman. Oh, here comes Superman now, but if he isn't holding me, who is? Um, a woman in a strange costume. She can fly like Superman, and she has super strength too. There, your car is like new. Who are you? You may call me Mighty Maid. So, it turns out she is from the fourth dimension, and she's been observing Superman. As a matter of fact, I received special permission to cross the dimensional barriers so I can meet you. Normally, we rarely attempt this dangerous crossing. So she is quite interested in Superman. I wanted to learn firsthand if you are as wonderful as reported. Frankly, I am not disappointed. The hussy. She's shamelessly throwing herself at him, and Superman is lapping it up. So they seem quite interested in each other and fly off. It was positively sickening the way he drooled over Mighty Maid like a schoolboy. Is she the type of woman he always wanted? Is that why he never married me? So they go out traveling the earth, and the first stop is the Taj Mahal. In her mind, she thinks his eyes are beautiful, which is going to seem very strange when we discover who Mighty Maid is. It's Sahib Superman, indeed. Then they go to Egypt, and apparently um, a tremor causes the Sphinx to slide towards Taurus, which seems highly unlikely, and they use their super breath to stabilize it, and the Sphinx falls on Mighty Maid, but she's unhurt. I never thought I'd be so overwhelmed by any woman. He's going to kiss her. Superman is in love, and they do. Yow, what a picture. This will mean a promotion for me for sure. Perry White says, Lois, the story of Superman's super romance is making international headlines, but we'll scoop them all. How? Superman is going to propose to Mighty Maid as sure as shooting. Now I feel. Say, is something wrong, Lois? You look sick. Okay, of course. I thought Perry White kind of knew, but I guess he doesn't know that she's in love. Um, so she's all very sad about it, but she's tasked with writing the story of his romance. Um, and she says, well, Superman, I'm sure he doesn't want a story about his proposal leaked all over the place. But Superman shows up. I overheard your conversation, Lois. I'm so happy about being in love with Mighty Maid. I want to shout it from the rooftops. I'd be delighted to have you present when I pop the question. Didn't I tell you, Lois? Superman's your friend. So she's watching over the two of them. And then he does. Mighty Maid, will you marry me? And for a second time, a deep, passionate kiss. Yes, darling, yes. Congratulations. You're both very wonderful people, and I wish you the very best. May your marriage be long and happy. So she's tearing up and goes off to write her story. Great. Keep it up, Lois. This is the best article you ever wrote. And the saddest. I wish Perry wouldn't be so doggone cheerful. I'm afraid I'm going to cry. So she writes a story basically saying that Superman has decided he's going to not only marry Mighty Maid, but leave Earth and, I guess, travel to the fourth dimension. All Japan bids you sayonara, Superman and Mighty Maid. Next stop, then back to Metropolis. So she thinks maybe Mighty Maid that Superman is tricking people, and this is one of his robots. So she decides to ask Mighty Maid to meet her, and then suggests she's a robot. She turns on this superpowered electromagnet, but it has no effect on her. Nothing happened. The electromagnetic magnet didn't affect you. You're not a robot. Of course not. Whatever gave you that ridiculous idea? Oh, I understand. You care for Superman yourself, and you were hoping. I'm sorry, Miss Lane. Um, but there's no stopping him, and Superman and Mighty Maid just vanish into the fourth dimension. Strange. I still can't accept the fact that we'll never see Superman again. Oh, by the way, he also mentions that he's going to hand all his robots over to the FBI to continue to protect Earth. Nice going, Mighty Maid. You may unmask now and become my real self again. Good. You have fine dramatic ability, Linda. You portray the role of Mighty Maid very believably. And so she removes her brunette wig, makeup, false legs, and padding. I wonder where the padding was. And also, if she's 15, she's probably done growing. So I don't know. Anyway, thank you, Cousin Superman, and the way you made us seem to disappear with the help of concealed blinding lights activated by a time mechanism was very effective. So he explains why he did all of this. He started hearing voices, and apparently it's these aliens who want revenge from something that happened decades earlier, which was some of their people had been flying near Krypton, and a few of their vehicles had been shot down. The dog, someday we will send a space battleship to wipe out every living Kryptonian. So the Kryptonians were definitely in the wrong in this situation. Now, their revenge is a bit over the top, but they decide that since they can't kill Superman because he's invulnerable, they'll just destroy Earth. I see. They have come to make good that vow. But why don't you fight them in space and save Earth? I don't want to harm them, and from their point of view, there is some reason for their anger. And that's true. But he discovers they can't sense him underwater, so that's why he and Supergirl have hidden in this underwater cave. The aliens decide, well, since he's gone back to the fourth dimension, or gone to the fourth dimension, they're just going to leave. And so he goes up to their ship. When they awaken 100 years from now, they will learn the truth from the message that the Kryptonians fought them off mistakenly, believing their planet was under attack. Perhaps the aliens will believe and forgive. But how do you know? So apparently, 100 years they're going to. So they had a long-term plan of revenge. In my Fortress of Solitude, so he starts explaining about the Kandor, which she obviously already knows about, and how they explained everything concerning these aliens. Please, Cousin Superman, can I leave Midvale Orphanage now? I'm tired of mild secret adventures. I want... Not yet, Linda. At present, you're my secret weapon. No one but me knows you exist. If kryptonite ever destroys me, you can carry on. I know it's hard, but be patient. Later, as Lois accidentally falls off a new building she has been inspecting. Of course, she just falls off a building. Superman back on Earth. But what about the fourth dimension? Your bride. We didn't marry after all. I learned people age earlier in her world. She was too young for me. She was only 15 years old. Then there's still a chance for me. That's true. Supergirl is 15 years old. Okay, so this is one of those stories where there's about 1,000 different ways Superman could have tricked these aliens, but this is the one he chose. Let's just recap. He passionately kissed his 15-year-old cousin here and here, but also even when they're alone, they seem to be. And this is not even the worst story when it comes to the two of them seemingly quite fond of each other. Why is she sitting there thinking his eyes are beautiful? So in another story, Superman expresses his desire for his cousin. So they go out and they find a woman in the universe who looks exactly like an older Linda Lee, Supergirl, and has all her powers. So I don't know. There's something about Otto Binder. He really likes this idea that Superman and his 15-year-old cousin um, have a relationship, or at least have a secret, unspoken desire. It's an okay story. But I don't know, the whole thing with the young cousin just gets a little weird.